Welcome to another episode of The Pickpocket. Here at The Pickpocket, we utilize the NBA category in the Fanduel app to help you win money. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and also be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, comment your suggestions or questions. We want to hear from you. How have your lineups been doing? I hope you had a great night last night. Please whip out your cellular device and take a picture of this particular page right here. The definitions for these symbols are very important. You are going to see them throughout this presentation. If you take a picture of it, it will be really easy for you to follow along. Top 5 from tonight's slate by position. At point guard, we got Steph Curry. At shooting guards, we got James Harden. At small forwards, we got LeBron James. At power forwards, we got Anthony Davis. At center, we got Jokic. Point guards, hitters. Steph Curry was a bad idea until we really thought about what we've seen from Toronto. They are not the same defensive team they once were. Steph is sizzling. Safe to say he's in rhythm. Best option here. Van Vliet and Kyle Lowry are both safe options, consistent enough to provide their averages. Careful with Lowry though. He could find himself in foul trouble trying to body up Curry, trying to get him off rhythm. John Wall will have to be spectacular if they plan to stay in the game. Luckily, the Lakers guards aren't good enough to stop him. Jamal Murray has the Knicks. The Knicks are not a great defensive team, not the worst. Strong number 2 option for them. James Harden is probably the highest scoring here. Only problem, he's facing LeBron and Harden hasn't cracked his average in the last 3 games. Tough when Wall is cheaper and you have other shooting guards who can give you the same. LeVert is the safe pick. There is no Durant, possibly no Kyrie. Without them, he's gone nuts, literally stuffing the stat sheet. DeMar DeRozan is the better pick than comparing him to D'Angelo Russell. DeRozan does more and he's more efficient. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will combat LeVert's effort tomorrow with his own do-it-all game. He's gotten his average easily. Good value hitter. Small forwards, LeBron James. Only thing that can slow down LeBron is his own health. Since having this injury status, LeBron's lowest output was last game with 42.9 FDP. If you want to know how long that's been, 7 games. Of those 7 games, 5 games, he scored at least 50 FDP. He continues to do it all. Only thing you should question about picking him is if you want to pay for that salary or spread it around. Just know he's good for at least 45 FDP. Yes, we left Jimmy Butler off here. He's going against a super depleted Boston team. He might be extra passive and in turn costing $8K is a bit much. There are options like Tyler Hero, Robertson, or Dragic that are better to go with. We may be wrong. And he could pop off tonight as he did last night. That's an L we are willing to take due to circumstances of the opponent. Just being real with y'all. Power forward hitters. Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis. If you have to question what he will bring, just go ahead and log off the account now. He plays, he scores into the high 40s in FDP. Julius Randle won't be guarding Jokic, leaving him to have his typical all-around game tonight. Denver doesn't play much defense either. Expect high scoring and his numbers to inflate a little. We don't like Christian Wood in this matchup. We're not saying he would be terrible, but that salary is asking to at least reach his average. Not sure he will against Anthony Davis. Siakam is out of our doghouse and back to being an easy pickup. Golden State won't have an answer for his versatility. Wiseman has trouble staying out of foul trouble against crafty big men. Expect at least his average. Centers, hitters. Bam is easy. Boston will have so many guys out tomorrow they will barely have enough to suit up. Bam may get as usual, unless it gets out of hand or they exploit matchups elsewhere. It's tough when the opposing team is missing half its roster. Jokic. We wish Mitchell Robertson well having to guard him. He didn't play his usual minutes yesterday and didn't reach his expected FDP with his crazy salary, but look for a bounce back. He was still 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. Cat played at the last minute. We only found out because someone in the arena announced it. No other indications. Only thing about him, he was reaching for that wrist early and often versus the Spurs. Yet, still dropped a solid 52.6 FDP. If he plays, he may be a cheaper option than Jokic, but keep an eye on his status. Point guards value. We preached DeJounte Murray last night, and he showed up. He's going against the same team, and his salary is still underpriced. Grab him. At his salary, Alfred Payton is a good value option because he is good for his average, and anything more will be a plus. Peyton Pritchard has those bolts by his name because he will see the most minutes he has all season. Boston will be without so many guys, he will need to put in extra work. He was solid prior to this too. Shooting guards value. Tyler Hero will benefit from the Boston situation. So many players out, and he was already a good option. Now he will be out there. Now he'll be out there playing against second and third string players. Recommended value pick. Malik Beasley is a hit or miss. Unlike other value picks who at least stay around their average, he either gets way above it or under it. Never right at it or around it. Malik Beasley, he did have a good night against the Spurs last night. He hit a lot of threes. He hit a lot of threes. He had a really good night. I don't expect him to have that type of night again. And that's just my personal opinion. Norman Powell is here because we think playing Golden State will provide him a chance to do well. He's been the same as Beasley. Just never know what he will provide. He's one of those, I need a cheap guy players. Small forwards values. RJ Barrett and Keldon Johnson will likely have the most impact. Sleepers here are Anunoby, Gordon, and Harris. Nope, because there is no KD or Kyrie playing. The rest are very solid players, so be sure to look at these players and fill them in, by looking at their salary if you can afford them or not. Power forwards value. Tice has the best value based on the team situation. Beasley will have little resistance getting his average. He should score and rebound as he usually does. Draymond Green and LaMarcus Aldridge are the same this season. Solid in the 20s, may explode for more based on how well they hit the glass or block shots. Kelly Olynyk played well last night and now facing a shorthanded team. At $5,000 in salary, we strongly consider him. Value centers. Taco Fall is mentioned here because of the team situation. He will be good for blocks and rebounds. Remember, blocks are worth 3 points to your FDP. So that's really important right there. Mitchell Robertson will have his hands full with Jokic. Not our favorite option, but he will need to play well if they want to stay in the game. Montrezl Harrell is just not the same. The Rockets aren't the best at defending bigs this season, but it's just something that makes us pause when it comes to Montrezl Harrell. He hasn't been the same Montrezl Harrell from last year. He's kind of been in a little slump. So that's why we're very nervous on picking Montrezl Harrell. Boogie Cousins still isn't seeing the minutes we expect, so that hurts his FDP. You just can't turn down that salary for his talent if you need a value center. Demarcus Cousins is Demarcus Cousins, and he only costs $5,300 in salary. He can have a breakout night any night, and for that salary, that's always a plus. All right, starting 5 players we believe you should start your lineup with. This is something new that we are doing. Please let us know if you like it or not. At point guard, we got DeJounte Murray. At another point guard, we got Stephen Curry. At the shooting guard, we got Tyler Hero. Small forward, RJ Barrett. Center, Jokic. We believe you should definitely have a lineup starting with these 5, and you should substitute your players in the empty slots. This is a very good solid base to start your lineup with. Please try it and let us know how the lineup does. All right, here's our mock lineup number 1 for you. This is a really good lineup. As you can see, we used that starting 5 and we plugged in our own players. All right, mock lineup hitter per position. This is good if you can swap out hitter for hitter, but there is such a big gap between hitters and value. This is still a really solid lineup. All right, mock lineup number 3. DeJounte, you got Fred VanVleet, Duncan Robinson, LeBron James, Draymond Green, you got Taco Fall. This is a really solid, well-balanced lineup as well. Mock lineup using the 2 most expensive players. So there, this is a really good lineup. You got James Harden in there. You know, you got Jokic in there. You know, so you're expecting those 2 to go bonkers. If they have great games and your role players have good games, that could be a really good night for you. All right, in the last lineup, mock lineup balance. You got Steph Curry, DeJounte Murray, Tyler Hero. You got Shea, you got RJ Barrett, you got LeBron, Paul Millsap, Jeff Green, and Demarcus Cousins. This is a really good balanced lineup. This is the last lineup we will be providing for you guys. Be sure to like, comment, and share. And please be sure to subscribe to the channel. And thank you for choosing another episode of the Pickpocket DFS.